All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the accuracy development class. Hello, Vavai. How are you, Vavai?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you, sir?
Good
Good evening, sir.
So it's been the second time this week that we meet each other, apparently. The first one we had as the makeup class on Monday. Riando, I remember, asked me lots of questions about scholarship programs, which I felt very happy because I believe that in the future, once you graduate from Presiden University and then I hear some news from you in the next 3 to 4 years, you show me a picture in England or in Australia or in the US. Sir, I have made it. I am now a PhD student in the UK, for example. I would be very happy to know that, honestly. And I don't know if I answer you correctly, Riando, regarding your question on how much money that we have to prepare to be accepted and for, to support our mission to apply for scholarship, for example, LPDP, right? I mentioned it was like around 6 million-ish, 9 million-ish, right? I mean, I would like to, what do you call that? Try to change a little bit. It's really all depending on you. Like for some people, like some of my students, when they, for example, they bought my program in the past to guide them to take IELTS tests back in the days. Some of them had to spend like 15 million because they had to do like 3 to 4 times IELTS tests and the training programs as well. So 15-ish million that they had to spend back in the days a long time ago when I was their instructor. And then some of my students, they even only took one time of IELTS, already got 6.5. So they probably spent only around 5 to 6 million. So it's really all depending on you, depending on the people who are trying to, what do you call that, to support their mission for the scholarship. You know what I mean? Like, because the scholarship mission needs funding, right? So this funding could be more or less between 6 million to 15 million, could be less, could be more, which it will depend on the quality of yourself in terms of your English. So the better your English as a starting point, the less, well, most likely that you will spend less amount of money to, to be successful in the IELTS program and to be accepted in some scholarship providers selection, right? Including LPDP. And then I'm also very happy that last Monday some of you provided presentation on how to deal with interviewers in this case, like some, how to face interviewers and how to answer questions and what to do in coming to the interview, like dress neatly, politely, and then professionally if possible. And then I suggested that every time you answer a question, show friendly gestures and then try to address their particular name, the person asking question, which will show that you actually listen to their question and try to respond accordingly to their question. And then I remember, if you could recall, my other suggestion was I was mentioning something related to diplomacy, if I'm not mistaken. So whenever they ask you questions that you can't answer, try to answer honestly, but using some diplomatic way. Not just I can't, sir, but I can't for now, but you see that this skill is important. In the next coming future, I'd like to do some programs to improve the quality of myself in terms of doing this kind of skill. So I will be able, for example, in the future to make the best use of this skill. So you know what I mean. So that's probably a little recap of what we did last meeting. Okay, and Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to share screen to you. I hope all of you could see my screen at the moment. So we will have more or less 12 occasions, but some of the occasions, of course, only opening question and answer session and then closing. And then I believe Pak Vavai, I already chose you as my co-host, and you have started your recording apparently, right? So I see there is a, what do you call it? There is a symbol of recording. I hope that's from Pak Vavai, yeah? Is that you, Pak Vavai?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Great. Thank you, Pak Vavai, for your willingness to actively participate in our class since the beginning up to now. Okay, if you could see, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, later on, after we've done the preparation, I would like to take another probably 10 to 15 minutes of your time to present something. And I am aiming to present a topic related to prepositions, because in the last 12 weeks of our interactions, some of you have sent me messages, right? And some of those messages, unfortunately, contain some of the grammatical errors, especially related to in, on, at, and politeness in English. So today, allow me later to present something related to these two topics, so that I am expecting in the future time, both to me and to other lectures, you will be able to send grammatically correct in terms of prepositions and in terms of politeness in English, right? Politeness in English is very easy. As long as we know the rules, we can do it fine. But sometimes some of us, like some of you who texted me, sometimes forget to apply this kind of politeness rules in English. I mean, I don't mind you send me anything, honestly, I don't mind. But the thing is, it will be much better if you know the politeness rules in English. So when you speak to me or you send messages to me and to other people in your future, you will sound more polite, right? You will sound politer in terms of the way you apply your competency in English. That is the purpose. And then after those activities, second and third activities I provided to you, I'm planning to go straight to the presentation team. In this case, we have group 18, group 19, and group 20. It should be interesting, hopefully. I mean, I am expecting that you had enough time to do your own little research related to working in those countries, because I believe some of you might also have aspiration, right, to work not only in Indonesia, but also in overseas, like in this case, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, and any other countries that you like to go. I really am going to be very happy if someday, I don't know, Riando maybe, or Dede Ulandari, or Neil. I know that Neil, right now you are working for a Singaporean company, right?
Hello, sir.
I remember that you work for Singaporean companies, right? Is it, or am I wrong?
In Dubai.
Oh, now in Dubai, yeah? Not in Singaporean companies anymore.
No, not in Singapore. Dubai's company.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm really happy that some of you already work overseas. Imagine if more of you start working overseas as well, which I believe that will be tremendous achievements for not only President University, but also for me as one of your lecturers. I would be very happy as well. Okay, yep. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to start the class, to kick off the class with the presentation of myself. So I am providing certain picture that I would like you to see, right? And this picture, I think, will mean a lot to you. I understand you know the idea of prepositions. Does anyone here still, I would say, has anyone here known about what prepositions is and what are prepositions for? Anyone? From the pictures that I show you, what do you have in mind? And then my next question is, have you ever thought that you made mistakes in terms of determining when I should use in, when I should use on, when I should use at, especially in terms of using the place and everything? Like Riando, Vavai, Neil, Pak Mukti. Do you think that in the past you have been in a confusion in terms of deciding when to use in, on, and at, especially on related to days, weeks, related to transportations, related to something like that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Confused.
Sometimes
because
what should
like
I do? Should I
in,
use in?
when,
Should I use at? Should I use on? Right?
Absolutely.
That is
Exactly, sir.
basically, yeah, I mean, that happens. I mean, in the last 12 weeks with you, I have received so many messages from you, right? I don't mention your names, but so many messages. And most of those messages contain some things like misunderstanding in terms of when to use in, on, at.
How many?
Well, yeah, it could be many. I can't say how many in it. Should I count one by one? Yeah, it's just for what do you call that? Extra knowledge, and I hope you can grab this knowledge and you don't forget anymore. Like basically, some people make mistakes in terms of the use in and on. Like for example, sir, would you mind if I see you in Tuesday? Right? That happens all the time. Would you like to see you in Sunday? Right? That happens to me. People send me those messages in fact. So I hope you would remember that day, if we're talking about day, right? Try as best as you can to use on, right? So on Monday, on Tuesday, on Thursday, and the rest of the days, make sure you use on. And then when you talk about date as well, so for example, the 25th of March, the 14th of February. So when we're talking about 14, 25th, 1st, 2nd of the date of the month, they always refer to days, right? And days, we always use on. So shall we meet on the 25th of March? Shall we meet on the 1st of December? Right? But when we're talking about week and month, season, for example, years, centuries, decades, as you can see on the circle, this circle, right? Always use in, like in this week. Sir, can we make the makeup class in this week? In the week after, in the week after this week, or in the next week and the like? Right? So try as best as you can to use in when you're talking about year, months, weeks, seasons, in winter, in the summer, in autumn, things like that. And then on when you talk about day and dates, then I like this one. At is quite crucial as well. So many people that I know of, they always make mistakes in at. Okay. So I was trying to think about this, and probably when they say precise times or festivals, when do you know pub in well, of course you do know pub, right? Pub is more like where people in the Western countries, they spend their time, they have talk to each other, they have some talks to each other, drink some beers and the like. So most likely when you talk about certain pub, hey, let's meet at the pub, because that is precise place. The pub is always like that. Okay. And then on the left side here, this is just my additional what do you call that? Additional material I'd like to give you this evening. So I hope it could be very beneficial for you. I got this from some colleagues of mine. I asked them to send some details of prepositions like this, like go shopping, go home, go dancing. Do you know that some of your friends in the past or right now, they still often, where are you going? I go to home. Have you ever heard that? Vavai, Nail, Ajat,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
I want to go to home. That happens all the time as well. The correct one is just say go home. I want to go home. I would like to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home. I want to go shopping. Not I want to go to shopping, but I want to go shopping, for example. And then go for a walk, go for a swim. You can actually say go swimming, though. So I can just tell you, go swimming is fine. Go for a swim is also good, right? And then this one, especially young people like Nail, Dede, or some other youngsters in this class, go on a date. Go on a date is like pacaran, yeah. You go out pacaran with your girlfriends, with your boyfriends.
Even Pak Anto.
Nail, I'm sure you're still single, right? I mean, you're still having a girlfriend, right? Have you married? Have you been married?
I'm still single, sir.
Oh, okay, right. So you go on a date, isn't it? I go on a date. I mean, I believe that this kind of go on a date will not be valid for me, for example, for Vavai, and then Pak Mukti, for example. We're not dating anymore. We're already married. We can't do anything about it, right? We don't use this kind of word anymore. Go on a date. Yes, I go on a date with my wife. And then what else? Yeah, go to a party, go to a show, go to a bar. This is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. If you see this, why the first one is go to a party, go to a show, go to a bar. But this one, the last one, is go to the toilet, go to the hospital, and go to the cinema. Why can't we make, for example, go to a toilet, go to a hospital, go to a cinema? Can anyone know the reason, or do you have any idea why the reason is like that? Can anyone say anything about this? Why cannot we mix up between go to a and go to the, between party, show, bar, cinema, hospital, and toilet? Why it has to be like this? Can anyone say anything that you know of? Kevin, Budewi, Naka, No Yishao, Angelia, Dwiki Fatur, Sodri, anyone? Stanley?
Sir,
Yeah, who's this? Johanna?
yeah, maybe go to the, it's for something like place and the only one, so there's not the other else. But go to the A, it's for something like work or something like want to do something.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Johanna. You're brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. So basically, the is more like article, right? Article to show that certain thing, certain location, certain name, or whatever you're going to say, is something easily understood by people around you, especially people you are talking to, right? When we talk about toilet, in your home, in your friend's home, when you say toilet, of course, every home will have toilet. When you're talking in my place, talking in your place, or in any other people's place, can I go to the toilet? The toilet of that particular home where you're speaking, right? But when you say I want to go to a toilet, it means it is not clear which toilet you'd like to go. In my home or in other place, in different place, different buildings, right? So it's more like a cultural way and logical way. So go to the is something that people around you that you speak of already know where the locations are, the hospital, cinema, and the like. But go to A is something that is abstract, or it can be anywhere. When you say go to a party, you don't mention where the party is, in it. I want to go to a party. Nobody knows where the party is. Could be the party in my school, the party in your campus, the party in my friend's home. So you have to create another explanation to talk about which party you'd like to go. But toilet, hospital, and cinema, that's different. When you talk about hospital, you know that in the city there is a certain hospital that you can go to. In your home toilet, you know where the toilet is. So that is the difference. Okay. And then this one. If you see the picture I am showing you, right? You are on A, you are in A. Do you think in your lifetime, ladies and gentlemen, in your lifetime, you often see some of your friends, some of your colleagues still make mistakes about this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like
Especially for something like mostly like in the bus, because they prefer in, obviously they are in the bus,
right, yeah.
while we are using on the bus or on a bus.
Right. Yeah. There are many people making this kind of grammatical mistakes. I mean, it will not create big impact on the people's understanding, but it's just showing that, you know, when you are speaking about these things correctly, the way they think about your competency in English would be very different as well. So the accuracy in this case, the title of our class, accuracy. When you talk correctly, accurately, using these prepositions, then you will sound more accurate. When you sound more accurate, people will think and believe that your English is good in terms of your competency in it. So yes, some people make mistakes in bus, and some of my friends also still say in the plane, right? In the plane. And then they also get confused in limo, because limo is quite long, right? Limousine, right? Quite long. They say it looks like a train. On limo, right? No, limo is like a car. So in limo, in the taxi, in the truck, in the car. And then when we talk about bus, plane, train, ship, we're talking about on. Like some of the experts in grammar try to make some logic explanations about this. So guys, I would like to share with you, if you are on certain transportation where you can stand and walk, most likely this transportation will use on. Stand and walk inside the transportation modes. Like bus, you can walk on the bus, plane, you can walk, train, you can walk on the train, ship, and the like. But the exception is bike. Bike, you can't walk on the bike, but you can ride on the bike, because the meaning is you are on top of the bike. So you are on the bike. Okay. Does anyone have question about the use of prepositions, ladies and gentlemen? Or this picture already somehow representing your future understanding about the use of prepositions? I hope so, yeah? Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
what books you use for this one?
So this one can be found in like, I think I'm gonna have to check, yeah. Baptist Grammar Azhar, they talk about this as well, the use of prepositions. And then some conversation book that I used to write. I used to write something. I had one book. I don't. In progress. And then some of the training programs I built myself. I make some guidance, right? Like a little small conversation book, and then I share to them. But mostly, some things like this can be found on grammar books. It doesn't have to be necessarily from Baptist Grammar Azhar, but from other grammar books. And the title most likely is prepositions. How to go to so how about go to school and go to the school? Right, okay. Thank you, Kevin. That's a very interesting question. Go to the school and go to school. I would say that if you talk to your friend and then you come to the same school all the time, right? Or you just want to say that I would like to go to some institution where you study, right? You can just say I go to school. But when you put I go to the school, most likely the people that you are talking to know where your school is. So that's my logical explanation about the use of go to school and go to the school. So go to the school is there's certain place that most of you or the people that you are talking to know which school is it. But the first one, I go to school. Normally, when you say I go to school, the second question people will ask you is, which school do you go? So do you know what I mean, Kevin?
Yes, sir. I got the point. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Great, nice. Thank you for the question, Kevin. Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned earlier here, right, we have done prepositions, and this one as well, if you can see, politeness in English, right? If I would like to go to the the third session related to politeness in English, the second session in the second part, right? Because second session, I have two parts, prepositions and politeness in English. If I go to the second section of the second session, right, politeness in English, does anyone have an idea what I will talk about when I mention politeness in English? What do you think I will talk about? Kevin, Perina, Punky, Vavai, Neil? From the title, politeness in English, what do you think I will talk about? Can you guess? Ari, Riando, Naka, Fatur, Dwiki, Tony?
Maybe talking to the oldest people or special people, so maybe to the lecturer or to the that's one to be polite.
Okay, wow, great, yeah, thank you, Pak Mukti, you're right. So when I say politeness, of course, this is one of the culture that we have as well, isn't it? Like Indonesian people, we like being polite to people, right? But when we try to switch into English, sometimes we forget that kind of things. Like we think that English do not have polite way of saying things. In reality, they do have polite things in saying things. Like, allow me to show you some example, right? And then I would like to ask you to change this example of sentences, which I believe these sentences would be a rather less polite. I would say less polite, not impolite, but less polite. And I would like you to change how to make these sentences more polite. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to show you certain numbers. I hope you can read my typing, right? So there are 5 numbers, right? And all of these, what do you call a statement, right? Or small talk from people are considered like less polite. If I would like to ask you to polite, yes, Brian, that's great. 5 magic words. Budewi, would you like? Yes, say please or thank you. That's great. Brilliant. So if we try to apply those things in these 5 numbers, right? Number 1, for example, this good morning, mister, I want to check in. Can you help me? Do you think there is any way you can make this small talk into much politer way of saying things? Anyone would like to try number 1?
Could you help me?
Who's that? Who's that speaking?
Mr.
Leandro, go on.
Good morning, mister. I want to check in. Could you help me or would you help me?
Yeah, that's great. That good start. Yeah, that's a good start. Anyone else?
And
Wait,
also,
please.
I would like to check in.
I would like to check in. Yep, fun. That's great, fun. Another good start. I would like to check in. And then any other thing?
Yes, sir. Me, Devi speaking.
Yeah, Budevi, go on, Budevi.
Yeah. Good morning, mister. I would like to check in. Could you please help me? Or could
Great,
you help
yeah.
me, please?
Yes, yes, that's brilliant. So good morning. Any other thing that you would like to say? Like all of you have done brilliantly, but there is one thing that you miss. Just one thing that you miss.
Excuse me. Maybe
Yeah,
like,
Johanna.
excuse me, good morning, mister. I would like to check in. May you help me, please? So
Yes,
it's
that's
be
great.
ending with excuse me.
Yes, that's great. That's brilliant. One of the magic words, right? According to Brian Rankel, one of them. Great. So I would probably just like, excuse me, good morning. I would actually prefer to call the people there Mr., Miss, Madam, or Ma'am, or Sir, right? It's all depending on your preference. If they look young or they are young, you can just say, excuse me, good morning, Mister. I would like to check in. Could you please help me, or could you help me, please? That is the way you write down things or you say things properly. Okay, good. Yep, good start. What about number 2? A student to his lecturer. Hey, sir, I forgot to do summative test last night. Can you give me another chance to do it today? Sir, is that coming from the real world? Yes. Unfortunately, some of the students send me those kind of messages, which is fine because probably I haven't taught this to them. But after I taught this, I hope they will change. Yes, Johanna, it is indeed based on true story. Anyone would like to try number 2, how to change it? Karina, go on, Karina.
Karina. Yes. I think it should be like good afternoon, sir. I forgot to do the summative test last night because of blah blah blah. Would you please give me another chance to do it today so I can make up the summative test?
Yeah, good start. Yeah, very good start, Karina. Good. Yeah. Anyone would like to add something more?
Yes, sir. Devi. Okay.
Yes, Devi again. Yes, go on, Devi.
Yes. Because student already know the name of lecturer, mention the name of lecturer. For example, good morning, Mr. Nugroho.
Right. Yeah, yes, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Do you know what? Some of the students, right? Again, I should not mention any names, but I hope this explanation will change you, right? Most of my students always text me, good morning, good afternoon, Sir Nugroho. Oh, come on. I was going to comment on that so many times. After sir, you don't have to mention name. Like good morning, so that's it. I know that in Bahasa Indonesia, you would like to say Pak Nugroho, right? But that's not how you do it. So good afternoon, Sir Nugroho. Good afternoon, Sir Agung, things like that, right? So it's better to say good afternoon, Mr. Nugroho. Good afternoon, Pak Agung, right? That's how you do it in a proper way. Not Sir Nugroho, not Sir Agung, not Sir Vavai, not Sir Mukti and the like. Yes, I don't mention who sent me those messages, but yeah, from this group as well, and some other classes as well. They keep saying Sir Nugroho. So, what is this? But I haven't got chance to comment on that. But right now I do have chance. So hopefully in the future when you text me, just say hello, sir, that's it. Or hello, Mr. Nugroho, that's it. Not hello, Sir Nugroho. No, not that one. Okay. So yeah, you can say hello, Mr. Nugroho. Don't forget to say, I am sorry, right? I forgot to do the summative test last night. I am sorry. That's very crucial. And then, if possible, it's better you say, hello, Mr. Nugroho. My name is Devi. My name is Johanna. I'm one of your students in Accuracy Development class. I am very sorry. I forgot, blah, blah, blah. Would you or could you give me another chance to do it today, please? That's it. You're done. If you do that someday in the future, not just to me, but to somebody else, they will think that the people who receive this text will think like, wow, this student is very good. like, you know, I will just like directly provide compliment in my heart to the student. And the same thing applies when you try to send text messages to your supervisor, to your boss, for example, like Johanna or Nail. If your boss is from Dubai, right, an Englishman or people who speak English, you're welcome to send us messages in a polite way, and you will sound like much better in terms of the way you use English. Okay, right. What about number 3? Oh, Vavai, yes. Would you like to ask something, Vavai?
Yes, sir. For number 2, I think if we talk about, hi sir, yeah, this one is impolite, but I would like to emphasize the second. I forgot to do the summative test last night. It is indeed the problem with him, but I think if I just say I forgot to do the summative test last night, it is only me, but without any regret, because
Right.
it is the obligation. So even I forgot the summative test, but I think it will be polite to say our regret to the situation. Like, I regret to inform you that I forgot to complete the summative test. So even before we would like to ask for another chance or another opportunity, we must acknowledge that we do something wrong.
Yes.
I think
you're right. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, you're right, Vavai. But remember, I would also suggest you say sorry, right? I am very sorry that I forgot to do blah blah blah, right? I think by saying sorry that I did something that is not supposed to be done, it's more than enough. But if you'd like to add what you just mentioned, I regret to inform you that I blah blah blah, that is also possible. But when you say I am very sorry, terribly sorry that I forgot to do this blah blah blah, that is already enough to inform that you are sorry that you forgot. So the regret doesn't have to be said to you, to people. You don't have to mention that you regret. When you say you're sorry, it will reflect the idea that you show your, what do you call that? Your feeling of guilty that I forgot to do what I was supposed to do last night. In this case, summative tests. But yes, Vavai, I will still accept what you suggested to us. That is a brilliant idea as well. Okay, number 3. Anyone would like to try? I did not come to office yesterday due to sickness. Can I get any information on what I missed from our meeting? An employee to her supervisor. Remember, supervisor, superintendent, somebody above you in terms of structural position. Anyone would like to try? Anyone? Yes,
Sir.
Fafai, go on again. Is it?
Oh yeah.
Who's this? Nail, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go on.
Okay. For number 3, how about like this one? Good morning, Mr. Nugroho. My name is Jondu, one of your student from MIT. I would like to inform you that I'm sorry I did not come to office yesterday due to sickness. Would you like to give me any information on what I missed from our meeting? Thank you.
Yes, that sounds nice as well. So you say that you regret you did not come, and then what happened was because you were sick. And then could I please, if possible, get any information on what I missed from our meeting? Yeah, that can be done as well. Anyone else would like to say something? Yes, bye-bye.
Yes, sir. In my case, I was unable to come to the office yesterday due to the illness. Would it be possible to receive any information or updates regarding what I might have missed during our meeting?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that can be done. Yes. Yes, Babai, that can be done as well. And please bear in mind as well, try to mention who you are and the like, although probably the supervisor will know you as well, right? Because this is your supervisor anyway, he will know you, but it's gonna be much better if you say, again, good morning, sir. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'm one of your employees, for example. And then I would like to say, sorry, because I did not come to office due to sickness or because I was sick last night and the like. And then would you please, or is that possible if I would like to ask any information on what I may have missed from our meeting? Yeah, that's great. Thank you. By the end of the day, you say please and thank you. Okay, right. So let's go past number 4, direct to number 5, because this is very important as well. If you see number 5, the speaker in a presentation, when they do this, anything you would like to change? Ladies and gentlemen in this class, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Budewi, go on.
Number 4, sir. Okay.
Yes, number 5.
For the
Number
first
5.
time, yeah, and number 4, sir. Yeah, number 4. First time, the new employees introduce
Number
themselves
5,
to the senior
Budewi.
employee.
Budewi, number 5. We go to number 5, please.
Oh, good night.
5, please.
It's like as you teach us for the presentation, sir.
Yeah, right. Would you like to change anything to apply what I have shared with you in this number?
I'm
5,
from
number 5.
Netherlands, sir, without the.
Come again, Lavai?
I'm from Netherlands without the.
Okay. Anything else?
Maybe, sir.
Sir,
Maybe.
Who's that
Not
speaking?
maybe.
I am Sir Riandu.
Yeah, Riando, yes. What was that, did you say?
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Robert. I come from Netherlands, and I will present a topic related to earthquake in Indonesia. Could you please be silent when I am delivering my presentation? It is just take maximum 15 minutes.
Okay, right. Good starting point. Anyone has anyone ever thought that can you be silent, right? When I'm delivering my presentation, be changed into something else. I believe that I have made discussion about this.
Me, sir.
Yep. Budewi, go on.
Yeah. Could you please mute your speaker when I'm delivering my presentation?
Yeah, that can be done
It
as well.
will take 15 minutes presentation.
Okay, right. Has anyone ever thought something like this? Like, I would appreciate if you allow me to deliver my presentation, right? Or you can just say, ladies and gentlemen, I would appreciate if you could be silent while I am or when I'm delivering my presentation. So you can do that as well. I would appreciate if you could be silent during my presentation. Or I believe one of my topics that I sent you at the beginning of our class, long time ago, is like, I would be very happy to answer any questions at the end of my presentation. It means you do not want to have any interruptions in your delivering of presentation. Although it may mean differently, but when you say that, it is it's somehow showing the intention that you would like them to to be silent during your presentation. And then it just takes maximum 15 minutes of your time. Do you have any idea how to change this into a much better way? It just takes maximum 15 minutes. What do you think? Yes, yes.
Maybe I can change something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I respectfully hope your kindness to focus on my meeting when I delivering my presentation.
When I'm delivering my presentation. Yes, that can be done as well. Good, yeah. So let's do from the beginning, right? Good night, people. We don't say good night when you see people. So you say good evening, right? So you change that. Not good evening, people, but good evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be very good, right? Not I want to, but I. Not I want to, but I. Anyone would like to say?
Would you like?
I would like to introduce myself. My name is Robert. I'm from the Netherlands. But Vavai, I hope you can double check. Netherlands, I suppose they will have the in the beginning. I'm from the Netherlands.
Okay,
And
sir.
then maybe I will present, you just erased maybe. That's Indonesian way of saying things, like. So you can just say, allow me to present a topic related to earthquake in Indonesia. So instead of using maybe, you can change into allow me to present a topic. Or I would like to present a topic. Sorry. And then I appreciate that you are silent during my presentation, or I would appreciate that you are silent during my presentation, or I would like to show my appreciation for your cooperation during my presentation, or I would be happy to answer any questions at the end of my presentation. Implicitly, that say that please be quiet when I'm doing presentation. And I would like to take maximum 15 minutes of your time. So that is how probably I would like to do. You can make your own modification as long as you can try to make this, what do you call that, this opening in your presentation as smooth and as polite as possible. Okay, right. Before I move on to a different session, anyone has question about this? Politeness in English and prepositions in English? Or it is already crystal clear and we can just move on to this different session in our meeting? All good? Great. Yep. Okay. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the fourth session. In the fourth section, we have group 18 presentation, and the topic would be working in Australia. Right. Allow me to check the presenters of tonight. Group 18. I believe we have Angelia Wala, Irwan, and Carissa. Are you all here? Angelia, Irwan, and Carissa?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe I have also made you my co-host, so I can directly throw this opportunity to you so you can start your presentation. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, group 18, the floor is yours.
Okay, allow me to share my screen. I hope anyone can see my screen. Can see?
Yes.
Okay, thank you everyone. Special thanks to Mr. Nugroho for the opportunity tonight. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In this very special occasion, I would like to introduce our team. First, my name Irwan. Currently, I'm working at Europe multinational company in Jababeka as Human Resource Deputy Manager. And tonight, I will take a role as your moderator. Then I would like to introduce the speaker to you. The first speaker is Miss Gavrila. She has expertise in marketing, public relations, and communication. And now she is pursuing her master degree at Master of Management Technology in President University. Our second speaker is Miss Wala. Miss Wala has expertise in human resource management, and right now she also one of student at Master of Management Technology in President University. Our speaker would like to present you about working in Australia. This should be only 15 minutes of your time. Okay, before we start, I would like to ask you, does anyone has aspiration to work in Australia or any country? Sorry. Please, in chat book maybe. Yes, Bu Dewi. Anyone want to work in okay, that's very interesting. Thank you for the response. I believe this presentation will inspire you to expand your career around the world, especially in Australia. Okay, now I would like to invite our first speaker. Our first speaker, Miss Gavrila. Miss Gavrila, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Arif. We will move to the content of this presentation, please.
Okay. Sorry. Wait. The slide move or not? Sorry.
In my PC is still not moving.
Oh, sorry. Sorry for the technical problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you. This is the first part from part 1 until the end. The first is introduction. What is Australia? Australia is a continent and a country that has a unique blend, especially in multiculturalism of original tradition and new influences. The indigenous people of Australia are Aboriginal and also Torres Strait people. And Australia itself is famous for its open and friendly culture, like I already said before. Australia's multiculturalism and diversity continues to grow as people from all over the world settle into the country's busy urban areas and also the cool regional cities. Next slide, please. Well, these are several reasons why we should work in Australia. The first of all is guaranteed salary. Workers in numerous industries are projected from unjust wages by the legal minimum wage system in Australia. So the workplace in Australia becomes fairer when the workers are compensated proportionally according to their job description or according to their workload. And then secondly is a good welfare system. Australia has a good welfare system with many social advantages. Australian workers have extensive health coverage, unemployment insurance, paid sick leave, and also other leave, and also a large retirement guarantee. And the third is higher life quality. Residents and newcomers in Australia will feel safe with the little crime in Australia and also a strong legal system. This allows people to live without security concerns. Australia also has healthcare system that can boost quality of life, especially for the residents. And then the open immigration policy. Relatively open immigration policy allows for professional and talented workers from diverse nations that will come or work in Australia itself. And then last but not least, also about many career options that Australia has. Australia offers several thriving industry offering job prospects such as in IT, engineering, health, finance, mining, tourism, education, and many more are growing and provide attractive careers and also the competitive benefits. Next slide, please. And this part is the salary in Australia, especially for this year, 2023. And the conclusion, there are a calculation of annual salary, and then monthly salary, and then daily salary, and also hourly salary for the full-time workers in Australia. Then under the right corner, there is the exchange rate for Australia or from Australia currency to the rupiahs, namely $1 Australia, it's same with 10,226 rupiahs. Example, if the monthly salary in Australia, let's say it's about $6.161. If converted to Indonesian currency or rupiahs, it will be about 10,226 rupiahs. It's similar, or it can say as 63 million per month. Next slide, please. Well, this slide will be presented by my team. For Ms. Wala, time is yours. Sorry, I think this slide will handled again by me. For this part is job range and working visas. For the first visas is called visa working holiday. It's usually for us that want to get holiday or something like working in Australia. These visas allow you to work and holiday in Australia for especially 1 year. If you are age between 18 until 30 or 35 in certain cases or certain condition, and have a passport from our country or territory that participates in Australia's working holiday maker program. And secondly is skilled independent visa. This visa is for invited workers, eligible New Zealand citizen, and eligible Hong Kong for or British national overseas or abroad passport holders with skills we needed to live and work permanently in anywhere in Australia. In simple word, skill independent visa, it will be eligible if we already called or invited by the company or by the parties that will work with us. And for the third visas is skill nominated visa. It is allowed workers to live, work, and work permanent in Australia indefinitely in certain states or territories for which you are required to be nominated by the Australian state or territory government. And the last kind of visa is skilled professional visa. For this kind of visa, it enables skilled migrants to work, live, and study in designated regional areas of Australia for about 5 years, requiring you to be nominated by an Australian state or territory government body to be sponsored by an eligible relative in that country or in Australia. Next slide, please. Well, this part will handled by my team. Time is yours.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Azilia Wala. You may call me Angel. I am a student of Master of Management President University. It is an honor for me to present in front of this distinguished audience. So, before we discuss about these 5 job search engines that you can use to find work in Australia, is any of you know one or two or maybe all of these job search engines? Or have you have some experience using this kind of job search engines? So as you can see, we have provided a list of the finest Australian job search engines or job boards to assist you with your job hunt in Australia. So if you are wondering how to obtain a job in Australia as a foreigner, this is the 5 job search engines we recommend you by our group. So the first one is Seek. Seek is the Australia's largest employment marketplace. So if you have a strong desire to work in Australia, you can build a Seek profile and search the site's extensive database. And the second one is Azuna. In Azuna, you can find a useful features such as you can find the local salary and hiring trends in Australia. And the third one is Australian Government Job Search. So basically, Australian Government Job Search, it is the second leading resource for job seekers in Australia. So this job search engines is owned and maintained by the Department of Employment. And the fourth one is Career One. You can upload your CV to create a profile in a second with a short time and find jobs based on your skills, experience, and desired job criteria. And the last one is Indeed. So Indeed is an Australian page of the online portal which you can upload your CV and search by city and job titles. So if you have interest to work in Australia, make sure you download or you save these 5 job and search engines that we recommend. Actually, there are many job search engines that you can use besides these 5. If any of you know another recommendation about these job search engines in Australia, please let us know by share or type it in the chat box. Next slide, please. Okay, so in Australia, managing your tax obligations is very essential. If you earn income in the country, which is in the Australia, you must obtain a tax file number of, or we can say TFN, and pay taxes on your earnings. So your yearly tax liability is determined through the annual tax process. You may need to lodge a tax return if you earn income in Australia as a foreigner or temporary residents. For employees, income tax is automatically deducted by employers during the financial years, which spans from July 1 to June 30. So self-employed individuals are responsible for making periodic income tax payment. And at the end of each financial year, you must submit a tax return. So your tax return will calculate the purchase tax amount owed for the year. If the amount already paid is incorrect, you will either owe additional taxes or be eligible for a tax refund. So basically, Australia employs a progressive tax system, meaning the more you earn, the higher your tax liability. So the Australia Taxation Office, or we can say ATO, manage the tax collection on behalf of the government. And for the next one is superannuation. So in Australia, superannuation, or we can say it super, is a retirement savings system. So it involves money earned by an employee being placed into an investment fund to be made legally available to fund members upon retirement. So for example, when you have a job, your employer pays your salary and puts some of that money, we can say 11% or more, into a super account where is it invest for you until you are retired. So this investment are managed by expert teams who invest your super in range of assets and stocks to deliver the best possible long-term return. So when you work in Australia, your employer may be required to make super contribution to super fund on your behalf. Generally, this does depend on your visa as long as you have rights or tax residency status. So super is designed as an investment environment. But if you leave Australia after having worked there on a temporary resident visa, you may be eligible to claim your super as a departing Australia superannuation payment, or DASP. So DASP only can submit after you left Australia and your visa has expired. However, you can start the application process before you leave to make it easier. So there is a country that are not eligible for departing Australia superannuation payment, or DSP. Can you guys guess which country it is, or what country is it? So the answer is New Zealand. So New Zealand citizens are not eligible for the ASP. However, New Zealand residents or citizens may be able to transfer any Australian super they have accumulated to a KiwiSaver SIM provider, or have it directly paid to themselves if it's eligible. Next slide, please. Okay, so there is a program called AU Payer, but AU Payer is only for high school graduates and can only be attended by young people, which is in the age of 18 to 30 years old. Besides that, there are agriculture and plantation, programmer or system analyst, medical personnel, industrial technician, receptionist, and barista. So based on our resource, this job is the most wanted jobs by Indonesian citizens in Australia. Okay, so do you guys have any idea what city in Australia that have the highest salary? Maybe you can guess it in the chat box. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay, so actually salaries in Australia vary quite a bit based on factors such as experience, location, industry, and qualifications. In general, salaries in large cities and business centers such as Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. So there is the three answer from my question before. There are Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. So these cities tend to be higher than in small cities or remote areas. That's why some of the cities also have a high cost of living. Approximately, you can see 231.210 rupiahs per hours, or 8,786,576 rupiahs per week. So basically, if you want to get a high salary in Australia, it means you have to be prepared for the high living cost. Next slide, please.
Yes, okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the presentation from two inspiring women about working in Australia. Now let's continue to the Q&A session. I'd like to give for three people because of the time. And before you ask or give a comment, please raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Aris.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, presenters. Yeah, so uh, may I know about the challenge working in Australia? Is there any information? What is the challenge if we are working in Australia? Thank you.
Okay, that's a good question. Maybe Miss Gafrila or Miss Wala may answer the question, please.
Okay, let me try to answer the question from Pak Ari. I have a friend that have experience in working in Australia, and we have some discussion about it. And she said that she is very she's very hard to adapt with the culture in Australia. And also she's think that is very different from Indonesia and Australia. So she has to adapt more in Australia about maybe the weather, the culture of the people itself. I think that's all from me. Maybe any comment from the other presenter?
I
Okay,
think
thank you
I
for the
will
answer.
try to
Maybe
add
Miss
some
Gabriela.
explanation. Okay, thank you for Mr. Samandro for the question. I just want to add from my teammate answer for your question. I think one of the challenge if you work in Australia, I think it's about occupational shortage. It means that occupational shortage in Australia are common across all industries. So along with widespread lack of potential workers, industry in Australia identified low training completion rates and also challenges with attraction and retention of the staff or their staff as contributing and also increase difficulties meeting the workforce demand. So I think that's all about the edition from my explanation. Thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
for
thank
the
you.
answer. Maybe we go on to the next question, or Mr. Samoro want to comment?
Okay, enough. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next question, Mr. Riando, you want to go to Australia?
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. Uh, I want to ask about the search engine. I have tried in about 3 years ago for the approach and send the CV, but no one company contact me. Do you have tips or trick, and then we can call by the company from Australia or the others company? What should I do for preparing CV or something? What is the tips and trick? Do you get it? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wala, make you answer the question. Your part can find a job.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. Before that, I want to ask to to Pak Riando first. If you and try any of this our recommended job search engine before?
Yes, Indeed and Seek. I tried
Okay.
Indeed and Seek to search engine.
Okay, so actually my own recommendation is the Australian government job search because it is a department, it is owned and maintained by the Department of Employment in Australia. And besides that, I want to give a tips and trick But the first one is you can try to match your CV with the job requirements that you apply, and then make sure you have the eligible certification to apply in this job that you want to apply. I think that's all for me.
Okay, I think for more detail, I have to go again. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Riando, and thank you, Ms. Wala, for the answer. And the last question, maybe. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because of the time, we would like to we would not have maybe no more question. And please join me to give a big applause to Mr. Garfila and Mr. Wala for the sharing. Yeah, to sum up, as mentioned in the beginning, we believe after this presentation, one of you might be inspired to work in Australia or even around the world. And after this, we are very excited to hear from another group to present about working in Singapore and working in Malaysia. So you can choose which country you want to work. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all our presentation tonight. Thank you for your time and see you in Australia. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Group 18. Kevin, what are you doing? Let's go Austria. Kevin, we're talking about Australia, not Austria. Kevin. Okay, that's brilliant. Guys, Group 18, Angelia, Carissa, and Achris. I like, yes, who Devi also mentioned the template. The template is nice. You presented very good template of your topic. And one thing I'd like to add, I think that's Ari's question, because I personally had experience of working in Australia. The challenge that I would like to say to you is probably Angelia and Carissa were right. So different culture, different things away from family, that could be the challenges. And then something that probably you will like, I don't know you will like it or not, like in Australia, when you work, you really have to take care of yourself in terms of good way. You don't care about what other people do. Like, for example, okay, in one of the campus or one of the companies, institutions in Indonesia, right? They race. Do you know what I mean by they are racing to get certain positions, right? So they try to be on top of the institutions, like getting some positions in university, like they want to be, they would like to be, they prefer to be the dean or vice deans, rector, vice rector. Sometimes they use hook and crook. I don't want to say that, but most likely sometimes they do whatever it takes to reach that place, right? But in Australia, you do what you do, that's it. If you do well, you get appointed. You don't do well, you don't get appointed. If you are having achievements in your jobs, automatically, you don't have to ask. You don't have to be, worshipping your boss. You just come up on top if you're very good. Now, I don't know what happened in other countries, but in Germany, all I can say, I haven't been working in Germany, but my sister is currently working in one of the German company, and she doesn't have to ask anything. She joined the company. She has prestigious achievement in the first, second year. Third year, she becomes the manager. Fourth year, she becomes the vice director. So she doesn't have to make friends with the people in that particular institutions. You know them, good. You don't know them, fine. As long as your work is done and then you do the work properly, your, what do you call it, your position will increase significantly from time to time. That is the difference. Yeah, in Indonesia, sometimes you have to work hard, but it doesn't guarantee you get certain positions. when you work normally, but you have very close relationship with some people in that company, you'll be on top very soon, sooner or later. So that's difference, all I can say. Challenges, family, far away, food different, culture different. But the advantage is when you are very good in terms of what I mean, very, very good. Don't worry about anything. You'll be on top anytime soon. Okay, I hope that can gives you a little bit picture about working professionally in Australia and in Germany. In Germany, it's my sister, my own sister. In Australia, was myself. And I was in England as well. I worked in England as an assistant teacher for a year, and same thing occurred. Like some of my colleagues, they work well. They don't know anything about who the dean were, who the deans were, who the rector were. They don't care. You work well, you produce a high impact research journal. That's it. Your, what do you call that? Your professional position automatically will improve. Anyway, right. One thing I would like to say about the group is like Irwan, brilliant. Irwan Arif, your, what do you call that? Your introduction was good. The way you open the presentation is good. Carissa, I would like to point you, Carissa, like try to avoid reading just the slides, just reading the slides. Whatever you do in your presentation, don't just read. So use your own words, try to talk about something, and remember, try to engage your participants using certain questions. Did you notice what Angelia did before? Like she asked contextual question, right? That is very good way of presenting. Not just explaining, not just showing some slides and read the slides, but you also ask contextual question to engage your participant. Okay? You're welcome to reopen this recording and see what Angelia did, Carissa. And if you can change the way you present, not by only reading, but also saying something about your presentation, then ask contextual question, you'll be much brilliant. Okay? Right. Okay, I think that should be all. I mean, by all means, Angelia, I don't have to say anything. You've done very well. You engage your participants. You did not just read, basically. You also presented your topic using your thoughts that I appreciated. Good. Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the group 19. I believe we have Bagja, Nasha, and Rafki. And the title of the presentation would be Working in Singapore. It should be very interesting as well. Ladies and gentlemen, group 19, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Bagja. I will be the moderator for the group 19. Okay. Wait. I'm sorry, my camera is not working, so I apologize that I cannot turn on my camera. So allow me to share my screen. Okay. Everyone, I would like to make sure that the screen is showing on your side.
Yes, but it is a conclusion.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You must go back to the first slide.
Oh yeah, correct. Thank you, Mr. Fabai. Okay. So our topic is exploring work opportunities in Singapore. And I hope that with this presentation, it will give you an insight how working in Singapore looks like. And before that, allow me to introduce our team members. The first presenter will be Miss Nasya. She's from MMTech batch 2023. And the second presenter will be Mr. Rafki from MMTech batch 2023. And myself, Bagja, as a moderator from MIT batch 2023. And the content of this presentation consists of introduction, Singapore's business environment, work culture in Singapore, employment opportunities, challenge and benefits, tips for working culture in Singapore, how to work in Singapore, conclusion and personal experience. Okay, and the next slide will be presented by Miss Nasya. Miss Nasya, the time is yours.
Okay, Good evening, everyone. Now I will present about overview of Singapore economic landscape. Singapore boasts a highly developed and diverse economy, often regarded as one of the most business-friendly environment globally. It's financial hub with a robust infrastructure, advanced technological advancement, and a strategic geographical location. The next is the industry and sector driving Singapore's economy. First one is financial. Singapore is a prominent global financial center, hosting numerous multinational banks, financial institutions, and wealth management firms. And the second is trade and logistics. Singapore's strategic location has made it a vital trade and logistic hub. Its world-class port and efficient logistic service facilitate global trade, making it a preferred choice for regional headquarters of many multinational companies. The next is technology and innovation. The city-state has positioned itself as a hub for technology and innovation. It fosters a vibrant ecosystem for startup, research and development, attracting tech giants and fostering innovation across sectors like AI, cybersecurity, fintech, and biotechnology. The next is biopharmaceuticals and healthcare. With a focus on biomedical science, Singapore has become a hub for pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and healthcare research. It hosts research institute, biomedical companies, and hospitals conducting cutting-edge research. The next is tourism and hospitality. The tourism industry contributes significantly to the economy, attracting millions of visitors annually. Singapore offers the diverse attraction, including entertainment, culture experience, and a range of hospitality service. The next is why Singapore is an attractive destination for work. First is thriving business environment. Singapore offers a conducive ecosystem for business of all scales, fostering innovation and growth through favorable policy, tax incentive, and robust infrastructure. Next is global connectivity. With its strategic location in Southeast Asia, Singapore serves as a gateway to Asia, connecting the business to a vast market over 600 million people within a few hours flight. Next is political stability and safety. The nation maintains political stability, low crime rates, and strong legal framework, ensuring a safer environment for both business and individual. Next is diverse job opportunities. The economy's diversity means abundant job opportunities across various sectors, attracting talent from around the world. Next is high quality of life. Singapore offers a high standard of living, efficient healthcare, excellent education, world-class amenities, and a multicultural society, making it appealing for professionals seeking a balanced lifestyle. Next is cultural diversity. The city-state celebrates a rich blend of cultures, fostering an inclusive environment that welcome people from different backgrounds. Last but not least is Global Talent Hub. It's a magnet for global talent due to its competitive salaries, career prospect, and opportunities for personal and professional growth. Next. Okay, next is work culture in Singapore. This is the key characteristic of the work culture in Singapore. Include first is meritocracy and efficiency, where individuals are evaluated and rewarded based on their performance and capability. The aviation is highly valued too, and there is a focus on accomplishing tasks and achieving goals in a timely and effective manner. Second is respect for authority and hierarchy. There is a clear organization structure, and individuals are expected to show deference to those in higher position. The third is harmony and consensus building. Conflict is generally avoided, and there is an emphasis on fostering a positive and cooperative working environment. The fourth is strong work ethic and dedication. There is a commitment to excellence and delivering high quality work. Employees are often expected to go to extra mile and put in additional effort to achieve success. The next is emphasis on lifelong learning and skill upgrading. There is a culture of lifelong learning where individuals are encouraged to acquire new knowledge and develop relevant skill to stay competitive in the rapidly evolving job market. Okay, next.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nasya. The next presentation will be uh, Mr. Rafki. The time is yours.
Okay, I would like to explain to you on the employment opportunities in Singapore. Yeah, basically you can see all the opportunities, like most of it's on the tech, right? On the technology jobs. Why there is so many opportunities on technology jobs is because that Singapore is a home base for multinational companies like Facebook and Google and Zoom and ByteDance. They are looking for abroad workers to work in there to make it fulfill the working in those companies. So that's why there's a big gap for technology jobs to fulfill out. So it's if you are looking for a tech job in Singapore, yeah, you might go get it. And the next slide, please. Yeah, so I would like to explain to you on challenges and the benefits. I would like to talk on the benefits first. The first one is the low personal income tax. Yeah, it's for non-residential. It's a flat rate of the 15% is paid as an income. Basically we are paid to be live there. And then the second one is the diversity. As you know, the Singapore consists of so many culture, like Chinese, Malaysian, Indian, and British culture, and also the education opportunities. The NUS, as you know, the National University of Singapore is really a good university, and also the NTU, Nanyang Technology University. It's also good university as well. And then the fourth one is a easy process for work and residence permit, and easy to administrate all of these things. If you are one working in Singapore. Right now, I'm talking about the challenges. Even though when you are getting a high salary, the cost living is also high. So you need to calculate your expenses as well. And then the limited personal space. You know that Singapore is a small island, right? It consists of 5 million people. So if you are not used to with the small personal space, you might get used to with this. And then the third one is the strict laws and regulation. You know, in Singapore, right? You cannot chew gums. You cannot smoke on a public area, and then also you cannot get into a fight. Yeah, because if you are doing one of those that I mentioned earlier, you will be getting fined, and the fine is pretty big. And then the last one is a fast-paced environment. Yeah, it's depend if you are really looking for the fast-paced environment, that then it's not the challenges, it's the benefits for you. But some people really like the slow-paced environment. So yeah, so you need to make things so you need to ask yourself, do you want to work on a fast pace or a slow pace? And then next, please. And then I would like to explain to you on how to get a job in Singapore. First of all, get your please administrate it. First submit application to embassy of your country. Like you need to prepare all of these lists that I show you, like the application letter, the fill out the form, the work permit, and copy of passport, and packing list. Make sure you are working by legal in Singapore. Yeah, next. Yeah, there are 3 ways to get a job in Singapore. The first one is online job portals. You may get a job in on JobStreet or LinkedIn. Yeah, you can get a job on that. You can search by the location, and you will be finding so many jobs opening in Singapore. And then the second one is networking. If you are already have a relative working in Singapore, you can ask your relative, is there any job openings in the company or in the sector industry? Yeah, so you need to take advantage of those. And the last one is through the agency. It's like the headhunter agency, where you put your resume or your CV into the agency, and then the agency will will get you a job, basically. But you need to make sure that your agency is really legit, like 3C Synergy and Manpower, right? Yeah. So if you wanna look for a job in Singapore, those are the 3 ways. Yeah. So next, please. And then prepare your resume. Yeah, basically make your resume stand out by using the ITS friendly CV. Yeah, make sure you are using the right word for your CV, and then do all those that I mentioned on this presentation, and you will be getting your job in no time. Next.
Thank you, Mr. Rafki.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
next, here are several tips for dealing with working culture in Singapore. The first one is read before resign, because you're planning to work there for a long term. Then you just need to read it carefully, like reading the contract word over word. And the next one is learn to let go. Like basically, you need to work-life balance. Then that you get a healthy body with maybe you would like to go to the gym and reading some book, or do whatever you like to take the stress out. And next is don't be I don't say that don't be familiar, but yeah, don't expect your boss to be your friend. Don't be too familiar means that you keep your professionality. Like you just keep doing your best, but keep your relationship also with your co-workers. And the conclusion is that Singapore is great country for personal and career development, and it is like Mr. Rafki said, it is quite high-paced and competitive environment. And since I'm also working on Singapore, but although that I'm working from home, that I'm not fully experienced it how to live there, but this is what I have experienced so far. The in working in Singapore college is like their Chinese accent is strong, especially for local people. Like maybe some of you have ever been to Singapore? Can raise your hand. Yeah, if you ever go there, you might realize that the Chinese accent is quite strong, right? And actually, not in my case, since I'm remote job, I in my company did not require work visa, but some of the company might require. So yeah, depend on the company. You might or not prepare a work visa. And yeah, I think that's the end of our presentation. And yeah, I would like to open the Q&A session. If any of you have any question, please write, or yeah, you can speak regarding how to work in Singapore, working in Singapore.
You
I will
can
give.
close. You can close, Bagja. You can
Okay.
close. Yeah.
Okay, I think if there are no questions, I think that will be the end of our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bagja. Thank you, Nasha and Rafki, for presentations related to working in Singapore. I don't take it too personally. Basically, some of your friends might not ask you questions, not because your presentation was not interesting, but because probably they are tired. Like after working whole day, so they probably don't have energy anymore to ask questions. But indeed, your presentation was quite interesting for me. Some of the new informations I found, I believe some of your colleagues in this class, when they listen to you, they will find your presentation quite important and interesting as well for them, especially those interested to work in Singapore in the future. Right. Yeah, because we have very limited time. I mean, all I can say about your presentation is Bagja, good introduction. And I just would like to say, when you use Mr. or Miss, ensure that you're using the last name of the person, okay? Not the first name, but the last name. That's just my basic comment to you. And for Nasha, I would say you read, right? You read your presentation, but because you did not put your reading in your slides, you did not look like you were actually reading. So it was actually a good strategy. For everybody else, if you would like to read because you are not too confident to speak without reading, make sure you prepare your own notes. And then what you see in the slides, what your friends can see in the slides, this is the one that they see, but the one that you speak is the one on your notes, right? So that's one of the good strategy. And then for Rafki, I like your presentation, but there's one thing that is missing. So you can probably add this in the future. Contextual question. Contextual question. You've done, I think, one as far as I recall. But if you can do more than once, it will be very good. For Nasha as well, just keep asking questions. Every slide you do, ask short question. You change the slide, ask short question. It is not a sin to ask questions to your participants. It will just make them listen to you and get their attention back to you. Okay. Anyway, Well done, guys, from Group 19, Nasha, Rafki, and Bagje. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we move on to the last group of today? Because I think the time is quite limited that we have. So we have Nimas, Nanda Eka, and Clarissa. The title of the presentation is Working in Malaysia. Right? Are you ready, Nimas, Nanda, and Clarissa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I just left the Zoom meeting. Can
Right.
you give me the co-host,
Right.
sir?
Who's this speaking then?
Nimas.
Nimas.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
I think
Okay,
Nimas,
yeah.
you can directly share without becoming the co-host.
Yes, well, I was right, but yeah, I've made it anyway, so you can start sharing if you'd like, Nimas.
All right. I'm going to start the presentation. Wait. Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and also especially Mr. Nugroho. My name is Nimas Gabriela Dugensi, and I'm a student of Master Management Technology at Presiden University, and I will be serving as your moderator today. And first of all, I would like to welcome you all to this presentation session from Group 20 about working in Malaysia. Before the presentation begins, allow us to introduce the presenter. The first presenter is Miss Clarissa Pirena, a student of Master Management Technology at Presiden University, and the second presenter is Nanda Eka Rizky, a student of Master Management Technology at Presiden University. It will take a maximum of 25 minutes of your time before the presentation begin. I would like to remind you to pay attention to this presentation to increase your knowledge and prepare yourself for the surprise at the end of the presentation. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the presenter to deliver the presentation. Ms. Clarissa Pirena, you may begin your presentation.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Gabriela. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, I believe you must know that Malaysia and Indonesia have a good relationship, right? Yes, I know you guys know it. So here we will talk about the foreign workers in Malaysia. Next. So yes, Malaysia is one of a nation country which have 2.9 million foreign workers with 1.7 million from Indonesia. This is the last update for 2023. And the biggest expatriates come from Indonesia, followed by Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar, and some other Asian countries. And the popular work fields for the expatriates are IT, manufacturing industry or engineering, banking, finance, and etc. So in the for the foreign workers is allowed to work in this country every year for up to 10 years, except those who work under the 6P program. They are allowed to work in Malaysia for up to 3 years. The 6P program itself is an initiative from the Ministry of Home Affairs of Malaysia to legalize as many as 2 million illegal immigrants working in the country. So this is a good opportunity to work at Malaysia, especially for Indonesian people and the other Asian people. Next. So we jump to the how to work in Malaysia as a foreigner. The first one, of course, you have to find a job. You can find a job in any online professional platform or job search engine like LinkedIn, JobStreet, Glassdoor, Indeed, and so whatever. And the second one is you have after you get a company that want to hire you as the employee, you have to apply for work permit as a Malaysian employee. So the work permit is a crucial document, that acts as your official permission to stay and work in a particular country, which is like in Malaysia also. And in the Malaysia itself, there are 3 main kinds of permits based on the duration and nature of work. The first one is the employment pass. This is the most common type of Malaysian work permit for the foreign workers, and it enables them to take up the employment under a contract of Malaysian company. So to employ the foreign workers, the employee need to get approval through the expatriate committee to hire an employee and obtain their visa. And you need to have a specific and the employee also have to get the approval through the expatriate committee to hire an employee and obtain their visa. And you need to have a specific skill set to fit into the technical or manager level jobs. And this kind of pass have divided into 3 main categories based on the monthly salary and the duration of work contract. So, and the second one is temporary employment pass, and then the professional visit pass. So, but the common one that we will use if we want to become a employee in the Malaysia, in the first one, which is the employment pass. The next. Oh, sorry. So the next step is the calculate the living cost. This is not needed if you have any sponsor, but if you don't have any sponsor, this is need to be calculated. Next. This is the requirement for Malaysia work permit. This is actually the simple one, right? For the Malaysia, this is they are need only the valid passport, being above 27 years old age, fill the application form, original employment contract, and then 3 recent passport size photos, and the confirmation letter from the employee from the company itself, and the tax revenue. Next. This is about the living costs. Me and my team already do research about the living costs in the Malaysia if you want to live there as a employee. If you want to buy house, it can range from 300,000. This is the very minimalist home one, and located in Kuala Lumpur, Penang, and Johor Bahru areas. So, if you want to be another recommendation, you can having a rent the apartment start at 150. Sorry, 150. 1,500 per month. Sorry. Depends on the location itself. So for the cheapest one, you can rent a boarding house, like maybe kosan. If you in the simple way, it can start at 500, and it also depends on the location and the location. And for the mobile phone, it starts for 20 per month. 20 ringgit per month, and for transport, if you already given the car or motorcycle from the company, you can buy the around 95. This is the gasoline in the Malaysia costs only 1.9 per liter. For using taxis, kind of pricey. It start from 10 ringgit for the city, around the city center, and you can use metro or bus around the 1.2 ringgit. For the electricity, it start from electricity in the daily activity start from 100 ringgit, and for the water it start around 13 ringgit. Next. Okay, for the working hours, the standard working hours in Malaysia are 5 days a week, 5 days per week. So based on the Malaysia Employment Act, an employee normal working time should not exceed more than 45 hours per week. So overtime should not exceed than 104 hours in any 1 month, and should be paid at the rate that is not less than 1.5 times the hourly rate of pay. I think next will be presented by next speaker.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Claresta.
For the salary and benefits, the first one is the salary. So the Malaysian government periodically reviews the national minimum wage with the latest update occurring in May 2022. And prior to the revision, the minimum wage was 1.200 ringgit per month for urban district and 1.100 ringgit for rural districts. And following the review, the minimum wage was increased by 25% to 1.500 ringgit for businesses in the private sector with 5 or more employees. So the minimum wage now is the 1.500 for the entire country, and this new rate took effect from January 1st, 2023. And this minimum wage is applied to all workers, including the foreigners. Along with that, the benefits will be get by the employees. The first one are the Employees Provident Fund or APV. So both employer and employee contributes the equivalent of 11 until 12% of the employee's monthly salary to the EPF, and a part of this payment goes toward the employees' retirement saving funds. And the second is the Social Security Organization or SOCSO. The employers must register all the employees with SOCSO to cover work-related injuries, disabilities, and death benefits. And for the annual leave, they have 8 days off for employees with 1 until 2 years of service, 12 days for 2 until 5 years, and 16 days for 5+ years of service. For the sick leave, they have 14 days for 1 until 2 years of service, 18 days for 2 until 5 years of service, 22 days for 5+ years of service, and there's a maximum of 60 days in a calendar year being available to an employee who requires hospital care, and in this case, the employer covers the employee salary during this time. The next is the maternity leave. So under the Employment Act, the female employees can take maternity leave, which provides paid leave for childbirth and postnatal recovery. For public holidays, all employees in Malaysia have access to 11 national public holidays declared by the government. However, more holiday may be available at the local or regional level, and these days are paid time off if they fall on typical working day. The next is the termination protection. So the Employment Act stipulates specific requirement for termination layoff benefits, such as notice periods and severance pay, and depending on employees' line of service. Employees terminated without just cause are eligible for 1 month salary per year of employment. And the last is the worker compensation insurance. Employers must compensate employees with a work-related injury or illness under the Malaysian Workmen Compensation of Act. Next, please. The next, we'll talk about the tax. So Malaysia has a progressive income tax system for individuals, and payroll taxes are deducted from employee salaries. Employers are responsible for withholding these taxes and remitting them to the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia or IRB. And some key points related to the payroll taxes in Malaysia are: the first one is the income tax. So Malaysia personal income taxes are progressive, with ranging from 0% to 30%, and the tax year in Malaysia is calendar year, and employers use the pay-as-you-earn system to deduct income tax from employees' monthly salaries. The second is the Social Security contribution. So Malaysia has a social security system called the Employment Provident Fund, like I already explained before. So both employers and employee are required to contribute to the EPF. And the third is the SOCSO, Social Security Organization, and it provides social security protection to employees against employment-related accident and disabilities. And the fourth is the monthly tax deduction or MTD. Employers are responsible for calculating and deducting MTD from their employee salaries for income tax purposes, and the MTD in Malaysia are calculated based on the individual's projected annual income and the progressive tax rates. And the last is the stamp duty on employment agreements. The employers and employee may need to pay stamp duty on employment agreements, and
the stamp duty rates can be vary based on the terms and condition of the employment contract. Next, please. The next is the tax refund. So in Malaysia, tax refund is money returned to an individual when they have paid more in taxes than their actual tax liability. This can happen if the total amount of income tax deducted from their salary throughout the year is higher than what they owe. And to get the tax refund, we can file the income tax return, calculate actual tax liability, compare with the total deduction, and receive a refund. And it is important to file the income tax return accurately and on time to facilitate the tax refund process. That's all from me. I'll give it back to the moderator.
All right, thank you for the presenter. So this is the game time, and I would like to all of you in here, please prepare your phone and write kahoot.it on your website. And also, this game you will get the prize from us for the winner. And please note that the question will be shown on the screen, and please answer the question through your phone. Okay, just prepare your phone. I will share for the Kahoot. Okay, for the participant, after you search kahoot.it in your website, please put the pin in here. And if you already put the pin, don't forget to put your name also. And this is only 40 people that will join this game. And for the 3 people who wins this game will get the prize from us. Okay, we're still waiting for the others. Okay, let's see who is excited for get the prize from this presentation today.
Guys, use real name ya guys. Please, ladies and gentlemen, please use the real name because we are not gonna giving you the prize if we don't know who you are.
Yeah, we have 16 people here.
Mr. Nugroho, please join Mr. Nugroho.
Yeah, just join our games. Maybe you will be the winner, Mr. Nugroho. Okay, 19 people here.
Minimum 40 lah ya.
Okay, 40 ya.
KGB maybe
25.
You may share the Kahoot sound also, KGB.
Oh, okay. Wait. Is it audible or not?
I think too small, too low. Oh, already share the sound already, KGB.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, 28. Maybe if there is no one, the others didn't want to join, we might begin the games, right? Okay. How about we start, Clarissa and Nanda?
All right.
Okay, ready. Oh yeah, still.
Still.
Okay, I will start the games counting from 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Prepare yourself and don't forget to answer from your phone.
KGB full screen. Can you do full screen?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wow. Thank you. Sekarang nggak bisa.
Okay, wow, so many people that already answer. Okay, next. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, next question. Good
I
job,
said
Hambaula.
use real name, guys.
Silao is not the Prime Minister of Malaysia. I think everyone knows the answer, right? Okay. There's still many people that didn't know who is not the Prime Minister. Let's see the answer. Okay, Hambaula still in the first podium. Okay, next question. What is the first step to make a tax refund? Okay, let's see. Oh my God, Hamba Aula still in the first podium.
Wah.
Okay, the others please try
Mr.
to
Raffi going to the second place, guys.
Yeah.
It is
How many
Mr. Raffi.
workers are there in Malaysia in latest update?
Sorry, guys. I think it's a mistake. It's already bold, guys. In the bold form. I have to choose. This is our mistake.
There is still some people that didn't answer the right answer, right? Okay, let's see. Oh, Hamba Aula, you are on the fourth. It's okay. Rafki, you go to the first.
Hamba Aula need to play more.
Okay, so next question.
Is this true or false, ya, guys?
Yeah. Do you think this is the true or false of Malaysia's flag?
Be patient, guys.
Be
Okay,
patient,
nice
yeah.
people.
Okay, let's see. Wow, Bagja become the first. Okay, next question.
Mr.
What should
Nugroho are
to
coming
work
up,
in
guys.
Malaysia as foreigner?
I would say I don't know, KGB.
Find the job first, ya.
Make visa. Make visa is already if you already have a job, right, guys?
Yeah, guys.
So this is our question.
Oh, still didn't change, ya. Okay, next question.
Ya, nggak ke-update tuh berarti.
Okay, I can see that
Nice English.
28 people answer the right. Okay, this is the last question, actually.
Of course, right? We know that.
Yeah, actually, there is no answer that yes,
Correct,
sleepy. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the end. We should
Who is the winner? Jeng
winner.
jeng.
Okay, Hamba Aula, congratulations. And Rafki, and the first is
Bagja.
Oh. Okay. Okay, we would like to say congratulations for the winners, and after this you might sorry. Okay, after this you might send your please chat our team to get your prize, and also before we end this presentation, we will like to and gentlemen, we had the privilege of hearing from our distinguished presenter before, and now it's your turn to actively participate in the discussion. Please raise your hand and please turn on your microphone so we'd like to kick off this discussion. Okay. Okay, Rangga. So Rangga, please turn on your microphone and ask your question.
Hello Nimas. Thank you for this opportunity. That a couple years ago, I have experienced internship in Malaysia, especially in Johor Bahru. And my question is, maybe if I try, actually during your presentation, I'm trying to apply some job opportunity in Malaysia because that is so interesting. So my question is there any discussion for work hours in Malaysia regarding flexible work agreement? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Rangga. So for Claresta and Nanda, please answer the question.
Okay, Rangga, thank you so much for your question. Please allow us to answer. So, in Malaysia, employees can talk to the employers about having a different work schedule, so like negotiating and like working for 4 days instead of 5, like the standard. Even though the usual work week in Malaysia is 40 hours from Monday to Friday, the government is supporting research on having 4 days work week. And the stated aim of the study is to assess the impact of 4 days work weeks 4 days work weeks on various sectors in the economic sector of Malaysia. So yeah, it's negotiable. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So Rangga, is it clear? Is it answer your question?
Yes, clear.
All right, thank you, Rangga, for the question. For the others, do you have another question? Okay, Johanna Pertiwi, please turn on your microphone.
Okay, hello, Kak Gaby. I have a question. May you please explain about the detail for filling income tax returns, because I noticed something about the question on Kahoot before. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question, Johanna. So for the Claresta and Nanda, please answer from Pertiwi question.
Okay, thank you for the question, Miss Pertiwi. So for the file income tax return, yeah, we haven't explained further, yeah. So for the file income tax return is actually the individual need to file an annual income tax return with the Inland Revenue Board of the Malaysia, or we can call it the IRB. So this document is detailed with the income, eligible deduction, and tax relief. So I think that's all for the. I think that's all for the income tax return. Is it answering your question, Miss Tiwi?
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So for the others, here is Mr. Sodri. So please turn on your microphone.
Yes, okay, thank you. Can I ask, come to Malaysia from Indonesia is free visa, only passport, yes? However, if I'm working only 2 weeks, did still need Malaysian visa or can passport only, or can passport only?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sodri. So Miss Claresta and Miss Nanda, can you answer the question right now, or do you still need time to collect the answer first?
Okay, thank you for the question. I will try answer as far as I read the internet. So for as I know, I would say that there is three kinds of work employment pass. So there are named temporary pass. I don't know how long it can be, but if you only 2 weeks is not, I think not working for the permanent, right? For the permanent working, we can use the employment. So for the not permanently, I think it can be only visiting, maybe for student visa or another visa. Not using visa. Sorry, another pass like the temporary employment pass like that. So for the other, for the exact for the exact past, we haven't searched so far. So I think that's all we know. You can may search in the immigration of Malaysia. Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Sodri, is it answer your question?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, actually it's already because the limit time as we approach to the end of the session. So I would like to express our gratitude to each and every one of you that become the active participation, and special thank you for distinguished presenter for Mr. Claresta and Miss Claresta and Miss Nanda for their valuable contribution. And we look forward for the future opportunities to delve into more insightful discussion. And thank you once again for being part of today's engaging session. So thank you and thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
Yeah, well done, Nimas. I like your presentation. You engage the students in a very good manner by providing games. I think this is the first time, isn't it? I don't recall somebody has done game before in this class, which is good. I mean, surprisingly good. Okay. Yes, we are reaching to the end of the class. There are some small things I'd like to touch up your presentation. Overall, it's been great. But remember, Claresta and Nanda, while you were presenting, why were not you using any contextual questions? I've been saying that for such a long time. Every week, every time, contextual question. I don't know if you came to my classes before. I think you did come to my classes, but probably when I say contextual classes, you missed that. Contextual questions is or are like this. You open up the title or your slides related to anything, tax return. You can just ask your colleagues, your participants, does anyone in this particular presentation room know about what tax return is? Just ask the question. When they don't know, when they know, fine, you move on. You change the different topic, like the number of people working in Malaysia. You can just ask them, can anyone guess how many people, foreign people, work in Malaysia at the moment? And you stop for a while, you pause for a while. They think, right? Some of them probably will answer the question. If they don't answer, just move on. You explain how many and the like. So that is contextual questions I've been waiting for. And these were not there. However, your presentation is elevated by the game provided by Nimas and all of you, of course. If not because of the game, probably I would say like, come on, where are the contextual questions? But because you conducted game, I'm fine if you did not do the contextual questions. But still, in any way in the world, in the future, when you do presentation to me or to other lecturers or to your boss or to everybody, when you try to sell something, for example, always use contextual question. That will only give benefits to you, not disadvantage. Okay, that's just my my suggestion. Your presentation, you know, they were good. Like Nimas, very good introduction, good engagement in the game, and then Claresta and Nanda, your fluency, brilliant. I like the way you present things. Your pronunciations are fine, no significant mistakes or errors, but just the contextual questions I really wish I could have had from your presentation. Okay, anyways, thanks guys, it's brilliant. I like your presentation overall. Okay, now I would like to choose some other people for the next week presentation, right? They will be group 21, 22, and 23. And I personally would like Neil. Neil, where are you, Neil? Neil Royan? Yeah, I think Neil is probably silent already. Vavai, and I will remind him, probably it's not a good timing to choose the other presenters for next week. I will talk about the other presenters in the chat, yeah, in WhatsApp chat. Meanwhile, yes, Clarissa and Nanda, are you going to ask question?
No, sir. I just we want to say thank you for your reminder, but we want to clarify also because at the first we already having that kind the question like we are contextual question to the participant, but think about duration, sir. So we already did some parts like that, sir. So we run fast to the end the game because we want to the game running, sir. I'm sorry, but we are gonna have it gonna make it better soon, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Clarissa. I mean, you're good. There's nothing wrong with you. Just if you keep asking that contextual questions 3 times, 4 times during your presentation, it will only, I promise you, will only make your presentation much better. It will not reduce the quality at all. In fact, if you ask your friends, when you ask contextual question, they will provide more attention because you force them in terms of indirectly forcing them to look at you and listen to your presentation through your contextual questions. Okay. Anyways, let's not dwell in this one. I would like to choose the other 9 participants through WhatsApp. Vavai will keep in touch, and ladies and gentlemen in the group, I will try to find out the other 6 to 9 participants for presenting their topic next week. And I already prepared the topics anyway, but I will tell the topics when we have the 9 people or the 6 people presenting for next week. Okay, right now, I would like to share something, guys. And I need you to scan it properly so that your attendance can be recorded, okay? So you can start now before we close our meeting tonight. There you go. Please do the scanning right now. Okay, I would try to give you another minute, 1 minute, like 60 seconds for everybody to scan. I hope those who are leaving the laptop can return and then do the scanning, and then that's it. We can close the class. Okay. Yep. Alrighty, that's great. Okay, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming to my class, and I hope to see you next week on the same day at the same time, 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Have a good night and enjoy your week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Forget the price. Bye.